So please keep that in mind, and if you want to be off, just let us know. Exciting feature that was added last year was a new school website, which is much more user-friendly than we've seen in this district since websites were invented. One of the features that we used quite a bit, we used it last year for those that were in the building, was the use of our calendar. We kept that up to date for those that were looking for our field days and our field trips and our picnics and things of that nature. You were able to log on to the website, check out the elementary calendar, and all of the events that were going on were populated into that calendar. I am pleased to tell you that everything that we know for this entire school year currently is on the elementary calendar. So for parents that are looking for things that are going to happen in June, there are items that are already posted for the June calendar. So please rely on that calendar, take a look at it in advance. If you can avoid taking vacations or days off around some of the events that the students are looking forward to, that's really the goal, is that we want to keep that information out there and we want to keep it current so that you can make appropriate plans. So check back often. There's also a feature on that calendar that if you want to have a reminder sent to you, that's something that I'm told can happen. I have not seen that personally because I don't use the calendar in that function, but a parent told me the other night that they were able to go on and post all of the things and get an email sent to themselves about reminding them of things that were coming up in months in advance. So that's a nice feature that I'm saying to you because it was just brought to my attention. I personally have not checked that feature out, but that sounds pretty exciting. The last thing about our website is that all of our teachers have email addresses. You don't need to know anything about an email address. You can just go on the website, go on the faculty and staff listing, and you'll be able to search by grade level or subject area if it's a special area teacher, and you'll be able to click on their underscore name and an email will be sent directly to them. We encourage you to do that. If you have a question that comes up, especially tonight, if you have a question that comes up that you're not comfortable asking at the curriculum night, please feel free to drop an email to either the teachers, myself, Mrs. Lamana, and we will make sure that we get back to you. Many parents emailed us in the last few days with some things that they had on their mind that they didn't ask or they were fearful of asking. We don't want you to be fearful. We want you to have your questions answered. So please, if you have something that you want to ask, make sure you send us an email or give us a phone call, and we'll be glad to get back to you as soon as we possibly can. Within the last week, you should have received a yellow handbook from the Highland Elementary School. You'll also be receiving a code of conduct in the coming weeks as soon as those are printed. Our code of conduct is on the website for those that want to take a look at it in advance. But please take a look at the handbook. Mrs. Lamont is going to speak a little bit more about the handbook, so I don't want to take away her piece. The last part that I have is really a thank you to our parents and our community for your overwhelming support of our school. And this really stems back to something that I asked my staff to take a hard look at last June when we were getting letters to go home to parents and envelopes at the end of the school year. And that all has to do with our request for student supplies. We all live in a very tough economic time. You're dealing with it at home. We're dealing with it here at school. One thing I did not want, and I've heard since the few years that I've been here at the elementary school, is that our supply list seems to get bigger and bigger. I asked the teachers to take a hard look at that and try to cut back on some of the requests. We do not want any child not having the supplies that they need to be successful here in school, and I made sure that in that letter we stated that if you're under any kind of financial duress and you need some help, you can do it confidentially. You can send an email to myself, to Mrs. Lamana, to the school social worker. You can drop us a note. You can give us a phone call. We will not let any child be here without supplies. So I want to make that very clear, and I do want to thank many of you that, I should say most of you, because there are very few people that have come forth and asked for any assistance, but I do want to thank everyone who has opened their pocketbooks this summer to provide some supplies for our students. With that said, and not meant to be funny. If there's anybody who is still interested in maybe giving a few more supplies, we would be more than happy to take those and give them to families that are in need. We also have worked with some of our community members, and they've provided quite a few supplies for us, and we'll give those out as we see fit. So again, we truly appreciate all that you've done for us. The last thing that I have is really just a little bit of a plug for our before and after school program. We do run a program here at the elementary school. It's actually run by the YMCA out of Kingston, and they run a before-school program and an after-school program. And I'm told that with the new executive director that just came on board, she has some exciting ideas and some ways to make that program even better. So if you find yourself in a situation where you need us to, you need some assistance with child care before or after school, the Y is a great option. And I'll tell you that the other morning I walked in and I heard all this, and I was about 7:30 in the morning, and I heard screaming and yelling, and 7:30 in the morning screaming and yelling, what is this? And I came in, and the students that were here were involved in the old parachute. Remember the parachute with the balls in the center? 7:30 in the morning. They had them out playing with the parachute. The kids loved it, and they really get a lot out of the program. So it's an extra phys ed class for some of them, which is kind of nice. So I have flyers. If anybody's interested, please see me at the conclusion of this program or later this evening. Or again, I'm going to keep saying it, drop me an email and I can send it home with your child. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Lamana. Again, thank you very much for coming. Please make sure your questions are answered tonight, and if not, email us. Thank you.